Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to see what is a transmission line and how it is related with its distributed network and why it is called as a distributed network. So transmission line, it is a long conductor, so with a special design or you can have any designs. So nowadays we have the transmission lines in a handy transmission lines also. So whatever it may be, it carry bulk amount of generated power at very high voltage from one station to another station. So it is nothing but we can relate transmission lines and an antenna. Transmission line is a line which is used to transmit power from one point to another. Antenna is nothing but it radiates the power from one point to another. That is the difference. Okay. So what are the types of transmission line? So there are various types of transmission line. As I said in the previous lecture, the geometry is very important. When you change the geometry or cross section of the transmission line, the entire characteristics of the transmission line change. So that gives a new phenomena called mode of the transmission line. That also we will be seeing in the future lectures. So coaxial cable, twisted pair cables, optical fibers are basic examples of conventional transmission lines. Apart from that, we use waveguide structures. So when you just take power transmission lines that transmit electric power from power plants to distributed networks or from one region to another. So these are high voltage transmission lines. They are employed to reduce power loss during long distance transmission. So this type of transmission line you can see in our roadsides and where the transmission lines are connected using the post. Telecommunication transmission line. So for telephone usage, type of data, for example, a LAN connection, voice and video signals can also be transmitted. Then backhaul lines are also there nowadays for 5G networks or other networks. Then cables, different types of cables, optical fibers are also employed here. So then why this transmission line is a distributed network? So transmission line is the best example of distributed network. What is the difference between distributed network and lumped network? Lumped network means the physical components can be physically realizable. That means the resistor, capacitor, inductor and conductor can be physically realizable. That means we can take in our hand and we can check it. So if you want to insert, we can insert it. But in a distributed network, the components may not be the components are not physically realizable, but they are actually present. So the transmission line looks like a transmission line. For example, if you take a 2-wire transmission line, it looks like a parallel transmission line, but it has the characteristics of a resistor, it has inductor in it has capacitor in it, and it also has conductor in it, conductance in it. Since it is going to have it is having all these passive components, we call this type of network to be a distributed network. So transmission line is the best example of distributed network. Thank you.